All right, November Mustache Chris, bring us home with the old school Roger Clemens jersey. So awesome. We are back for another week of Around the Hobby. Today, we've got our Friends edition. These are most of the people that I talk with just about every day on Twitter. We have a good time, and they're my buddies. So we've got VITO from the Point Sports Cards. Nick, don't call me Luke Casey over here with his Lakers shirt on.
No, he's got
Ric Flair on. My bad.
He's got flair.
I had my Ric Flair earlier. I'm rocking the Dad of the Bone tonight. So,
Nice.
The one guy who's got a better beard than me, Mr. Ben Engler. I had my Ric Flair earlier. And our buddy who joins us when he wants to get a whiteboard and tell me I'm talking too much. EN Sports Cards. Che, how we doing today, guys?
Doing good.
So you guys all been here before. You know the deal. We'll start off with question number 1, untimed. Everything else get 30 to 40 seconds. Hopefully I remember the mute button today. So then we'll have a little buy sell in the middle. If you guys are down, then afterwards we do a little round table. So we'll start with question 1 here. Untimed, like I said, it's who are you? What do you collect? Why do you collect? What are you doing here? Why are you on the show tonight? Vito, we'll go ahead and start with you. What are you doing here tonight, man?
So just like every middle-aged man, I started collecting back in the late 70s through the 80s until I kind of got to high school and college years, and then gave it up. And it wasn't until my daughter really got interested in seeing what all the shoe boxes were in the closet as to me getting back into it. So that was about 2014, and I remember I got back in. We went to a card show. Now, card shows were still pretty active back then, and especially in the New York area. And I went and I paid, and I've told the story before. I paid $175 for a Gem Mint 10 Mike Trout 2011 update rookie card, and I swore to her. I said, "I'll buy you anything you want. Do not tell mommy I just spent $175 on a baseball card." I said, "This guy's supposed to be pretty good, right?" It was like his third year. So that's what got me back into it. But what's funny is I know I have an SP Jeter 93, and I definitely didn't buy that secondhand. So I must have somewhere in there picked up a box of SP and pulled a Jeter. So, but that's my story now. I spend a lot of time, buying and selling. Through the Discord group, through Twitter, stack sales. I'm primarily baseball. I'm a huge New York sports fan otherwise, but pretty much just deal with baseball cards right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Mr. Ric Flair, Nick, we'll go with you next. Who are you? What do you collect? Tell us a little bit about Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert.
Well, they're both hurt. I am Nick Lucchese. I have been a collector my whole life. Got back into it big time back in late 2018 when the Topps update started coming out, and my buddy was like, "Hey, if you see these, grab them. There's some studs in them." And I grabbed as many as I could, and the moment I hit the Juan Soto dugout SP variation, I was like. And the guy told me what it was. I was like, well, this is really cool. And so that class got me hooked on baseball again, at least collecting. And it kind of snowballed into picking up with Zion in that class and the basketball. And you can't help but I've always been a big football fan, but I've never really been a big collector. And I'm still not a huge collector, but you can't help but be interested. And so, I collect a little bit of everything now. I tell Chris all the time, I don't have like a specific PC really, even though Frank Thomas is my all-time favorite player. I went to Cooperstown for his Hall of Fame induction. But if somebody asked me to show me my Frank Thomas, I don't have a ton. I just collect what I like, and I like a little bit of everything. So, yeah, I mean, that's me, just a regular guy who collects cards. I get my daughter into it. She's got a little wrestling collection now. She started watching wrestling with me, which is really cool. And my son, he's 3 years old. He was supposed to be in bed last night, and my wife sends me a picture at 8:30. He's on the floor in his room sorting through Series 1 Topps baseball cards. So he's already got the itch, and I'm just happy to be here with you guys.
That's really awesome. You got your kids involved. I talk to you about it all the time. And my kids are involved too, and that's something really special. And, so Ben, got a huge, awesome hobby, got awesome collections, got awesome hair, awesome beard, just an awesome guy. Tell us about yourself, why you're so awesome, Ben.
I appreciate that. I don't know if I can top that. I'm gonna get my wife in here, let her know how awesome I am. Yeah, I collect a lot as a kid, and mostly baseball, and mostly because I like to watch baseball. Favorite sport to watch, and I watch all sorts of sports, so cards just kind of go in with it. I've collected a bit of memorabilia over the years of favorite players, more when I was younger, but got back into some of that. So I just kind of like having odd things like that, even non-sports related stuff, whether it's like a weird piece of art or some sort of weird knickknack. I often find myself at I don't know, swap meets and things, buying stuff like that, awesome. Whether I need it or not. Yes, exactly. And then now I got back into, like a lot of people recently, more heavily beginning of last year, and collect twins. Those are my team. My daughter is 18 months old, and I have gotten her to say "Go Twins." She likes to watch baseball with me. She likes to watch just the TV move colors, but I pretend that she likes the Twins. Kind of like Vito, I do some buying and selling as well. I pull this out, Vito. I just picked this up. If you can see that, you just mentioned it. That's the SB Jeter there.
Yep.
So anyway, I like to get these sort of iconic rookie cards. I do like that. So I have a Trout update. I have that one. Of course, I got the 1984 Kirby Puckett. So I like to kind of pick some of those Griffey. I just, they're kind of cool and fun to have. And obviously they go up in value too, as Vito knows. Yeah, so that's me. And now I'm just hanging out here. I like to chat cards. So here we are.
Awesome. 5 guys who like to chat cards. Che, I know all about you. Everybody else knows all about you, but Double T, Trucker Tim just joined. Tim doesn't know about you, so why don't you tell Tim all about yourself, buddy?
All right. Well, there's not a whole lot to tell. I mean, I've got a very similar story to that of Vito. We're probably close to the same generation. He and I grew up collecting cards as a kid. First pack I bought was 1981 Topps at a little corner store called Vaught's Grocery, right around the corner from my house. Had the wooden plank floors and the big metal container with the ice where you can get the ice cold grape soda. Go up there, get a pack of Big League Chew, some Grape Pop, and a couple packs of Tops, and I was good to go, man. And I collected as much as a 7 to 12-year-old could collect, for those years. Then I started working on the farm and making some money, and it was tax-free, and I was making $8 an hour as a 13-year-old, and I spent all my money on cards in the mid and late 80s. Just loved to collect. And then I took like a 20-year break, after I got out of college, got married, had kids, got a real job, it was the junk wax era. I really took an extended break from the hobby, but got back into it via my brother, I guess right around late December 2019, January 2020. I really started getting back into it. Joined Twitter in February of 2020 with the hobby, the account that you guys know me from. So, last year I was really, really, just balls to the wall, gung ho back into the hobby. Spent way too much money. Had a blast, but when 2021 got here, I was like, you know what? I got to change a little bit. I got to change the way I'm collecting. And I've really now gone to collecting just the guys that I loved from my childhood and the cards of them that I missed as a child. So everybody knows I love Rod Carew, I love Fergie Jenkins, J.R. Richard. So I've stopped buying, the new packs. I still buy Topps Flagship Series 1. I'll always buy those. But as far as just going out and chasing the big rookies and chasing the parallels and doing all that, I'm not doing it right now. I'm concentrating on picking up cards of my heroes from my childhood. And you can see behind me, I've got all Rod Carew is absolutely my number one. He follows me on Twitter. By the way, that was awesome. Like the highlight of my Twitter experience. He gained 15,000 followers yesterday alone. But he only follows like 100 accounts. And I was like one of the first 30 that he followed. And I just think I'll never not geek out over something like that. I feel like my 11-year-old son when that happened. It just it was amazing. But no, as far as collecting goes, that's where I'm at right now. Not buying a whole lot of new, but enjoying this Twitter community, enjoying doing stuff like this with you guys, and just having a blast.
Yeah, I think it's really important to evolve as a collector as well. I remember my brothers are 6 years older than me. I think my brother traded like a Ronnie Lott and a Jim McMahon for, a Jordan rookie back in their bedroom in like 1989 or something like that. And we used to walk down to Triple Play, which is still a local card shop here. And Gil's sitting there with this big fat cigar going, smoke bothering you, boys. That's how this old man talked. And I was like 5 or 6, and I'll never forget that. That's like literally how this guy talked. It was such a pleasant experience just walking down to the card shop with my 2 older brothers. You're like 5 and your brothers are 11. You're like, oh my God, they're the coolest people in the world. They're letting me tag along with them. And that's a huge deal to a kid. So then obviously I got back into, took the mandatory break from, adolescence to I'm too cool for this stuff. Started collecting really again 2012. And I didn't even know hobby Twitter existed until like 2 years ago. So I'm glad I found all you wonderful people. But let's enough talking about who we are. Let's get down to some talking about cards. So I'm gonna start with Nick on this one because I know you actually dig UFC cards. Do you think people are actually care about F1 racing and UFC cards, or they just in it to flip it? I mean, those Sapphire Formula One cards, you just like, here, have $800. Thanks. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think people are definitely looking to flip and make money quick. I think there are some people that these cool cards, because the Chrome and the Sapphire are beautiful cards. Like me, it actually has piqued my interest into Formula One. So I think that might have something to do with it. I think it's a little bit of FOMO. People don't want to miss out on the next big thing. I don't know about the UFC. I love UFC. I have the Panini UFC membership they just initiated this year. I actually just got my white sparkle packs in the mail today and hit a big 1-on-1 autograph. So that was amazing. I definitely think you're right, though, Chris. People are trying to make money. That's become the name of the game. It's not so much about collecting what you like as much as it is, buying what you can at a low price and selling it for a lot more if you can.
I snuck in right before the mute button came on there. Vito, what do you think? Are people actually care about Formula One racing and UFC cards?
I don't know much about it, so I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to think it's totally a flipper's game. I will tell you, I do agree with Nick, though, with that whole FOMO thing, right? Because I do not collect hockey. I'll touch basketball and football, but I actually picked up some of those hockey tins because Target had them. So I just bought them, and it was just out of fear of not being able to grab them. But no, I think it's a flipper's paradise, right? Those cards are beautiful, and they are multiple times their retail value. So people are flipping those, but I don't think anyone has real interest in Formula One. I mean, I don't even know what Formula One is. It's those weird looking cars. I know NASCAR, but like I knew nothing about it. So for me, it's a flipper's paradise.
Yeah. You guys are both sneaking right in under the gun. So
well, you're giving us the hand signals, so
yeah. Well, all right. Well, I'll give Che and Ben the hand signals. The next round, we're just muting people. So
there you go.
Ben, what do you think? Do people care about Formula One and UFC, or are they just buying to flip?
I think I agree that the FOMO. So I third that. I think with something like Formula One, if you're a Formula One fan, you are usually a super fan. Like Vito, you're talking about you don't know much about it. If you are into it, and I'm not, but if you're into it, you're way into it. So it might just be like, oh, cards are cool. But yeah, I will say I'm a Montgomery Club member. I got my Sapphire box of Formula
Dog. Nice.
About 15 minutes later. So for a good margin. So I flipped it. I didn't want to try to hit the with Lewis Hamilton. Low odds.
All done there. All right. Che, what are your thoughts? People just flipping, or do they care about Formula One and UFC?
Well, I mean, I think we've kind of seen it just with Nick and Ben's answers. You're going to have the true fans that really enjoy, they enjoy the product on the track, and they're really, really happy that it's, that they're getting a chance to now collect these. But for the most part, I think you're going to see a lot of flippers in the game. It's just the way it is. There's that new Netflix documentary, the Formula One documentary on Netflix, that apparently is one of the best sports documentaries that's been out there. I've seen a lot of people talking about it on Twitter. You're muting me already, man. All right.
Use your board.
You had 40 seconds, man. I was watching the timer this time. All right, we'll unmute him. All right, well.
That wasn't 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Shay's got his own personal stopwatch sitting there. So, all right, we'll move on to the next question. And, this is a big one for me because now we see primarily hobby boxes moving over into retail, and specifically Select and now Chronicles football hitting retail. How does this saturate the market for the product and affect the prices of singles or just, boxes in general? Like, for example, right when the hobby boxes came out, I bought a Sweet Jerry Judy for $30, and I could buy that exact same card for $6 right now. So, that just here, have my $24. Thanks for playing. Ben, go ahead. What's your answer? You've got 30 seconds.
I like that Shay's trying to mute the muter. Yeah, I think definitely, obviously, you always see when something comes out first, everything's priced higher. So sometimes if there's something I really want, I might get it when it comes out. But, if you wait, it's going to be less. They're printing. We're in the new junk wax era as far as numbers of cards being printed. I mean, it's in the many hundreds of millions, if not billions. So there's a lot of cards out there.
Yeah, that's why you got to chase after the numbered cards, right? Or the different parallels, because I've got a stack of 144 top series 1 rookies over there to send to PSA. Now it's like, okay, is Lewis Roberts Series 2 going to break all the pop 10 records? Because there's a good chance that it might. Vito, what are your thoughts? I know you're primarily a hobby box guy. How do you see these affecting prices?
Well, I won't chase retail, and I made that decision. And part of it is living in New York City. We don't have access to Walmart. Targets are limited, and the Targets by us don't carry cards. So if I travel for work and I see a Target and I happen to go in it, I may look, but otherwise I don't chase retail. It's basic economics, right? The more product that saturates the market, the values are going to drop. And I think there's another dynamic going on too. I think people are starting to get into crypto and putting their money into that. And that's really interesting now. So that's starting to, and I know we're going to talk about the fate of the hobby in a little bit, but yeah, I'm not a retail guy. I would be against it altogether, right? No retail at all, because I'm against Target limiting it to 1 box on a Friday.
Kids?
I'm against that. Then don't sell it, right? And allow LCSs to thrive. On Staten Island.
Oh, Vito hit the mute button. He almost got
I muted myself. Wow. So I will ask for 5 extra seconds. On Staten Island, where I lived for 11 years, no LCSs, and 4 opened in the last year. 3 on the same block.
Wow.
4 in the last year, and 3 of them are within a block of each other. So let them survive, not Target.
All right, Nick. I mean, you're the guy who sends me all the retail links on Thursday and Friday morning, so I know you have opinions on this. What do you think? How is the market saturated with new products hitting retail?
I mean, if you look at prices of retail on the secondary market, like Select, for instance, the blaster prices, it's down, and that's because there's so much more of it out there now. But at the same time, as well as I do, this stuff goes like that. Those links on Target are gone like that. People are buying it the moment it's there. So until that stops, Panini's going to keep printing money. And like you mentioned, people are already saying, especially with Select, the first year in retail, and it's everywhere, they're already saying if you're not getting the ones that are numbered, the other ones aren't going to be worth anything. So, I mean, it's supply and demand, and right now the demand is no end in sight. So what are you going to do? You're going to turn down all the money that they're making? No. I mean, it's just the way it is right now. And like you said, Ben, about the modern day junk wax era, I hate baking like that because the junk wax era was miserable the way it turned out. But it's a slippery slope right now.
Muted. Oh, but hey, you know what though? Like you and I have talked about before, Nick. How many people have we seen open boxes and you getting Tua, Herbert, and Burrow? You know, like I opened one hanger and I had a parallel of Ayuk, a short print of Jordan Love, and a Joe Burrow in there. So it seems like everybody who's opening a box is getting the big rookies that you want. So
And select, what do they have, like 5 different levels? I mean, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So
All right, Jay, what are your thoughts? I know you said you've evolved your collecting and stuff. How do you see the new hobby products being available retail affecting the market?
We talked about this last night on our show. So if you want to know my extended answer, because he's going to limit me to 20 seconds here, go back and watch our episode last night. But Select's going to be a disaster for singles prices. I mean, you see all these people opening, you know, and like you just said, what you got, there's so much available. It's never been available at retail before. People were, I mean, they're just pulling hit after hit after hit. And I mean, a year from now, those singles prices are going to be, it's going to be a disaster for the singles prices for those, in my opinion. I just think there's too much produced. It's too readily available. The checklist is too small, and there's too many stars, too many rookies, and not good for long term.
Jay, with the comment of the night so far about the checklist being small. There's only 100 cards in the checklist, something like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculously small. So that's great.
beautiful cards, though. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Especially the different color parallels. But you know, everybody's got a die cut this year. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the buy sell. In the buy sell, we're gonna go Vito, Ben, Nick, and Che for every question in that order. So, buy or sell, Vito. The Dodgers are still the World Series favorites.
Sell. Very simply, sell. I still think the Padres in the West.
All right, Ben, you buying or selling the Dodgers?
I buy. I think they still have pitching, and I think they'll get healthier. And they've proven they can do it, and they're proven that they will buy at the deadline.
Buy at the trade deadline. All right, Nick, were you buying or selling on the Dodgers?
I was selling when the season started, and I'm selling even more now. Ain't happening.
Jay, you buying or selling the Dodgers World Series champs?
Buying with my head, selling with my heart. I like what Vito said about the Padres, but I think by the end of the year, they'll right the ship. I think that with the experience, like Ben said, they're still the favorites.
All right, Vito, buy or sell, the Lakers are going to make the NBA Finals.
You never want to count LeBron out, but I have to sell at this point. I just think that it's too much of a grind. They're going to come in the 6th or 7th spot. It's going to be they may have to do a play-in. I think it's a grind. It's a sell for me.
Ben, buy or sell, Lakers are making the finals.
I sell. I don't follow basketball as closely, but I'm selling. I do follow the Blazers a little bit, and they just beat the Lakers. I think that's a sign that they're going to come in too low. They're not going to get the seed they need. Sell.
Woo, Mr. Nick, Ric Flair over there. You buying or selling the Lakers making the NBA Finals?
Last time I had the pleasure of joining you on this show, I said they were actually going to win the whole thing, and this time I have the pleasure of joining you, and I'm selling. They're not making the finals. They're not winning the championship. The Lakers are toast.
All right, Che, you buying or selling on the Lakers just making it to the finals?
Yeah, with all those injuries, man, they're just hanging in there like hair on a biscuit right now. I mean, the last time we were on this show, I was on the show. I said my pick for the finals from the West was going to be the Clippers, and that was like a really, really dark horse. And so I'm going to sell on the Lakers and buy the Clippers right now.
All right, Jay's buying the Clippers. All right, Vito, are you buying or selling that Bowman First is a true rookie card?
Sell. It's not the Bowman should not ever be the rookie card. The top flagship, or whether it's Series 1 or Series 2. But it's tops is the rookie card.
All right, Ben, you buying or selling on the Bowman First as a rookie card?
I am going to sell mostly because of the language. I think that the true rookie, what true rookie means is the first release of that player in Topps flagship, whatever that is, whether it's Series 1, 2 update. So I treat them like I collect them like with the same sort of figure as I do a rookie card, but I'm selling.
All right, Nick, you buying or selling on the Bowman first?
Easy sell. If you're telling me that the first Bowman is their rookie card, then Bobby Witt already has a rookie card when he hasn't even played in the big leagues.
Right.
Not true. So that's an easy sell for me. If I know there's some weirdness that goes on with the rookie cards when Yordan Alvarez wins Rookie of the Year and then his rookie card is the next year. But generally speaking, 99% of the time, those first Bowmans, the players haven't even played a sniff in the major leagues yet. So I'm selling that.
All right, Che, you buying or selling on Bowman first as a rookie card?
That is a sell. It's first Topps flagship or first Chrome. With the caveat, like last year, Topps update, that's Topps flagship. There were some prospect cards in there. Evan White, Joe Adele, they had those cards. First Topps flagship in uniform is their true rookie card.
So there, Evan White, you're saying his first flagship in 2021?
Yeah, not the 2020 last year that he was in his minor league. Yeah.
Okay, just double checking your answer there. All right, Vito, buy or sell? Otani is must-see TV right now.
Yeah, I'm buying that. I just think that people gravitate to, whether it's a two-sport player. I think the uniqueness of him pitching and hitting, just that's must-see TV, right? People love that kind of story, and he's proven it on both sides. So I'm saying it's a buy.
Ben, you buying or selling on Otani's must-see TV?
Yeah, I got to buy. At one point early in the year, he had the hardest thrown pitch at something over 100, as well as the highest exit velocity. So that's so unique and cool. It's like, it's Babe Ruth. So you got to buy. Yeah.
All right, Nick, you buying or selling on Otani is must-see TV?
Buy 100%. The guy came into the league, took the hobby by storm. Everybody had these high expectations. His autographs, his cards were selling for ridiculous amounts of money, and he had injuries. He had issues. He had trouble adjusting to the major leagues. And it's really cool to see him healthy and to see this guy living up to the potential, because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime talent you're watching here. You're watching two of them on that team with Mike Trout and Otani. It's must-see.
Great points. Che, what do you think? Must-see TV, Otani?
That's a buy, except most of us are on the East Coast, so I guess he's wish-see TV. But no, it's absolutely, amazing. He is absolutely amazing. Like Ben just, said, highest velocity thrown, highest exit velocity. 5 weeks, 6 weeks into the season, he's a starting pitcher leading the majors in home runs. I mean, just generational type TV to be seen. So absolutely buy.
Yeah, last time I asked this question, someone had mentioned that when he's pitching, he's must-see TV. And I think either way, I mean, if he's at bat, if they had like an NFL red zone, but for Major League Baseball, like where they just had like Acuna and Tatis and, Otani while they're up to bat, like I would watch that all night long, just the superstars and their at-bats. Jesse Winker put one in the Allegheny tonight, don't sleep on my man Wink over there, so. All right, last buy or sell. Vito, are you buying or selling? Breakfast is breakfast food for dinner.
Oh, that's a buy all the way. 100%. We'll do that. We'll do that often around here. 100%. That's a buy.
Ben, you buying or selling breakfast food for dinner?
100% buy. I don't. I generally break fast around noon, but I do love breakfast foods and breakfast meats. That's how you get country strong. And so I absolutely will cook up some sausage and eggs for dinner.
Yeah,
absolutely. Nick, breakfast food for dinner, you buying or selling?
I would love to sell just to get some booze and jeers in there, but I got to buy. I actually just made breakfast for dinner 2 nights ago. Eggs, turkey, sausage. The kids get some cinnamon rolls. And it's one of those things where it's like, you hadn't thought about what you want to have for dinner. It's like you got eggs in the fridge, you got bread, let's do it. It's easy. Heck yeah. Breakfast is good any time of the day.
Absolutely. Che, you buying or selling breakfast food for dinner?
Bippity boppity, show me the zoppity. That's a strong buy from me, Chris. Breakfast for dinner, baby.
Oh, he did it. Oh, but I got to go with my Leslie Nope, and she eats waffles any time of the day, so I'm buying as well because you can have waffles, you can make little chicken sandwiches, chicken biscuits, Chick-fil-A, egg McMuffins are sold 24 hours a day now. As Ivan would say, is it too early for flapjacks? So we'll awesome buy sell segment there, guys.
Shout out Watch the Breaks.
A lot of fun. Yeah, shout out to Watch the Breaks for his flapjack. So yeah, Daniel Justice over here saying Parks and Rec, awesome. So we'll go ahead and shout this question out to Ben. Hey Ben, if you could have lunch with one current professional player, who would it be and why? And this question is not timed, so take your time and just let us know.
There's so many that I could think of, not because I necessarily enjoy that player or think I would have fun, but I want to ask them things that they probably wouldn't tell me, just about my team, what the is happening or whatever's going on, the behind the scenes stuff. I think could be so interesting. But I'll say I think I would enjoy having a lunch with my starting right fielder, Max Kepler, because he is a German. And Chris, you know that I dabble in the German brewing arts. And so I think we could have a discussion about some German beer and probably have a bratwurst or two and talk about the Twins, of course, too. So I think I would enjoy that.
Awesome. We'll move over to Che. Che, who would you like to have lunch with and why?
I'm going to come out of left field on this one, but without question, and it's not even close, Boban Marjanovic from the Mavericks. If you're watching this, you're already on YouTube, so don't do it now. Watch the rest of the show. But when this is over, go, search on YouTube for Boban Marjanovic serenades his wife. That guy is just a hoot. He seems to have the best sense of humor, seems to be just a great guy. I love watching him play. He's one of my favorite players in the league. And I think just having a meal and a brew with him and just having him crack me up with his accent and just his sense of humor would just be a wonderful meal. So I'm going Boban for my meal with a professional athlete.
All right. Vito, who are you going with? One meal, lunch, who are you having it with?
So if you can guarantee that it's after a Stanley Cup victory, I would say Ovechkin, right? Because I want to party like that guy did. But honestly, I thought about this question, and I don't know why. I just gravitated to Conor McGregor. I think I would love to just hang out with Conor McGregor, and it would have to be in Vegas, and it would have to be a really good steak dinner, and then we were heading a night. But I could just see that being the greatest night, with
Red
Conor.
Panty night.
Yeah. So I would, if it's the Game 7 winning the cup, it's Ovechkin. But if it's just no guarantee of a cup, I'm going with McGregor.
All right, we'll finish up with Nick. Who you having lunch with and why?
It's really funny that Vito said McGregor because I'm actually going to say Cowboy Donald Cerrone.
Wow.
He just lost this past weekend, and he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, but he's a legend, and he's one of the coolest dudes ever. I don't know if any of y'all are very familiar with him, but he's got a ranch where he lives, and he has openly said, anytime anybody's around, if they want to stop by, he has open arms, welcomes them. You can go ride ATVs, you can go. He's like a thrill enthusiast, so you can go shoot guns. Damn sure well can have a beer with the guy. I just think he would be a blast to talk to. What a journey the guy's been on, the amount of fights he's had and the career he's had. And he's just he's a salt of the earth guy. And I just think it'd be really, really cool to get to meet Cowboy Cerrone and hang out with him for a while. That'd be a blast.
Awesome. I have no idea who that is. So
McGregor.
I'll send you some cool videos.
Yeah. All right. You can teach me all about him. So we'll move on to the next question. It really intrigued me because the Memorial Tournament's coming up here in Ohio, and I actually got a Peyton Manning autograph hat while he was playing the Pro-Am with Tiger Woods.
Nice.
And it was just holy crap, I just got Peyton Manning's autograph, just met the sheriff. So I want to know if you've ever gotten a memorabilia item signed. If so, what, maybe a ball at a game, a hat like I did, a hockey puck. I've gotten some at the Jackets games, or you guys do TTMs? I don't know if you do that or not. Jay, we'll start with you this time.
I haven't actually. Up until Josh, just another collector, sent me an Eric Davis auto a little bit earlier this year. I only had one autographed item in my possession. That was an old Beckett Future Stars that Jamal Mashburn signed, but I bought that already signed. Going back to when I was 5 or 6, all the UK players used to come to our Little League days and sign pictures. I don't have any of those anymore. But no, I've never been an autograph guy, really. Never gone after the autographs or sent stuff away or taken an item with me to a game or anything. So, crazy as it sounds, as big of a collector as I am, and now I've got a bunch of autographs, kind of really going after some of the Rod Carew and Eric Davis now. But all my life, I just haven't been an autograph guy. So I've never once had an item signed, in person or through the mail by an athlete.
All right, Nick, we'll move along to you. You ever got anything signed?
Yeah, I have gotten lots of things signed. Growing up in the Space Coast, I was lucky enough to go to Marlins spring training games. Lots of baseball autographs. One of my buddies was a bat boy, so he took a ball into the Royals dugout and to get George Brett to sign it. And he actually waited for George Brett to get out of the bathroom and sign it for me. I don't know if that counts, but I've got Shaq to autograph his 6-pack of Shaq Pepsi. I still have that. A couple of years ago, my aunt was organizing the wheelchair games, the veteran wheelchair games in Orlando, and Brett Favre was a special guest. I got him to sign a couple of pictures, personalized it, one to each of my children. Funny story, though, I will say, and goes back to spring training. I've gotten so many great autographs from those days. Guys were always so good. Cal Ripken stayed one time like 4 hours after the game signing every single person's autograph. But it was before a game. Indians were playing the Marlins, and Albert Bell was there. And I had these things called Sports Heroes, Feats, and Facts. And they, were like information about the players. Usually they folded out. It was like a 2-piece and would have a cool poster. And everybody signed them. Nobody ever had a problem. David Justice, David Cohn, Mike Piazza. Albert Bell comes over. He's signing balls. Looks at it, goes, I ain't signing that. And, I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, what? He goes, I ain't signing that. And he throws it back at me, a 10-year-old kid. And he didn't sign it. He walked away, didn't sign it. And then he ended up on my White Sox, and I hated him so much. But, yeah, I got lots of stuff. I'm very lucky.
Way over 30 seconds there, too. But he reminded me of we went and took our spring trip game down to Bradenton, Florida, my senior year of high school. And I saw George Brett in the Orlando airport and got his autograph. So on a Disney baseball, Mickey Mouse baseball with George Brett's autograph on it. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Vito, what about you? Are you an autograph guy? What kind of stuff do you have? How'd you get it?
I guess I would be. I have some Cowboy stuff. When they were in the height of winning the Super Bowls, there was a show that was local. I did the helmet by Aikman. I did the helmet by Emmett. So I have some stuff with that. I think the coolest thing I own, though, is my mother used to work for Coors Light, and Mickey Mantle had a restaurant in Manhattan, and he signed the back of his business card. And it's personalized to her, but still, it's just pretty cool that it's an item that like came from his restaurant that was on Central Park South, Central Park South, and he signed the back. So I would be more of an autograph guy. I'm not going to chase anyone down. If there's someone interesting at a show, maybe I would go see it. But otherwise, my Cowboy stuff is my big thing, and the Mickey Mantle eventually be mine, hopefully.
Awesome. That's a cool story. Way cooler than my stories. Ben, you got a cool story to share about some stuff?
Yeah, sure. I haven't got too much ever. I never lucked out as a kid getting anything in person. I did try, but usually failed. Usually got like I do have a Ron Coomer, former first baseman, sort of, for the Twins. I have his autograph on a ticket. My best autograph piece of memorabilia is a baseball signed by the 1991 World Series champion Minnesota Twins that my mom got for me many, many years ago as a Christmas present.
Wow.
That I did not get in person, obviously, but so that's awesome.
That's cool.
I'll tell a story about missing out on an autograph. growing up, one of my best buddies, when we were very young, 8 to 12, whatever, his dad was from New York, sounded a lot like Vito, and he was a dealer, card dealer. He worked out of his home, but he dealt in memorabilia and cards, so he was a great friend to have. And he had tons of Yankee stuff, including a lot of Mantle. And I could have bought this is a long time ago. I was very young, say 8, 9, I don't know. Mantle, he's going to give me a Mickey Mantle autograph ball because he just had like so many of them for $60. And my mom and all of my aunts and uncles, everyone was like, "That's insane. You could never buy that unless it was like his last home run ball." So I told that to John, and he said, "If any of them have Mickey Mantle's last home run ball, I'll give him $100 and bake him a dinner." So needless to say, I do not have a Mickey Mantle ball in my collection, and I remind my mom every 2 years.
Wow.
Every 2 years?
Yeah, yeah. It comes because that's about how long it takes for like something to come up about cards or something, or she'll be at home like, "Oh, when are you going to come get your Kirby fucking stuff or whatever?" And then I'll remind you.
Yeah, I got a story similar to Nick's. In college, I'm a huge Duke fan. Duke was playing at University of Michigan, which is like 45 minutes from Toledo. So we go up there, me and my roommate Steve, and meet Jason Williams' aunt before the game. And she's like, "Okay, well, just being nice to her. Come meet me at XYZ spot after the game. I'll take you out on the court." So we did, and we go there, and I got like a Duke jersey. It's signed by half the team. And so I take it off because I got a shirt underneath it. I'm having people sign it. So Mike Dunleavy's got the pen in his hand, like the Sharpie, and my shirt in his hand. Someone calls from behind. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, sorry, kid." I'm like, "Seriously? Like, you had it in your hand. Like, all you had." And then like I might have been inebriated a little bit, So I'm kind of like, "Dude, seriously? Like, what is going on?" He's like, "Sorry, man." I'm like, "You had it in your hand, bro." He's like, "What do you want me to do?" I'm like, "You're 10 feet away. Come back and sign my jersey." Like, Mike Dunleavy was a huge deal, when he was at Duke. So,
oh, look at that!
we got a YouTube.
Willa's photo bombing.
Hi.
Oh, that's awesome.
Say hi.
Yeah.
You say hi. He'll turn this off.
So there's Ben's main PC show of the
That's
day.
awesome.
Yep. Sorry, everybody. She
There you
just got home. So she loves to say hi when she gets home. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so this week I saw a Twitter poll that asked if you were A, collector, B, a flipper, C, a reseller, or D, or other. I honestly believe we're all a little of each. I mean, I have PC cards, but if I had a Patrick Mahomes or something, you can make $5,000 off it. Like I'm probably going to take that $5,000. Do you fall into one of these categories, or you think you're one of everything? Well, we'll start with Nick on this round.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little bit of everything. I'm at heart mostly a collector. That's what I'll always be. But I definitely have flipped some product. I've got Garbage Pail Kids Chrome that I've been hanging on to that are like, 10 times what I paid for them. So I'm going to be flipping those. And I don't know, reselling, flipping, if it's the same thing. I'll open something and like I got that 1-of-1 autograph. I'm going to sell that, because it's not something I want to PC. So I'm a little bit of everything, but at heart, I'll always be a collector.
All right, Vito, what are your thoughts? You a collector, a flipper, a reseller, a little of all?
Yeah, I have to agree with Nick. I'm a little of all, and I agree with Nick from what he said earlier. I don't PC any one player really. Like, I'm not a super collector. I collect what I like. If I see something I like it. I'm probably more reseller though than flipper, right? Like, I'm not waiting in line at Target. I'm not. Ben knows I have a wholesale account, and Chris, you know that too. And it's hard getting product, but like for Heritage, I was able to grab a half a case, which was exciting, and I just sold all full half case at the regular, at a regular retail price. So that to me is a reseller, right? I wouldn't consider that a flipper. To me, a flipper is if I get like the Sapphire, like the Formula One that Ben was talking about, and then immediately selling that. That's more of a flipper. I don't have that capability. I want to open it, right? Like I got the Ben Bola Chrome box, and I could flip that immediately, and I wanted to open it. So It depends. If I'm getting stuff from my wholesaler, I'll resell. If I'm getting stuff myself, I'm opening it myself.
Yeah, I see the flippers more as the people who are taking the picture of what they have as they're walking out of Target in the parking lot and just posting it. Like you're going there literally just for the reason to sell the box with no intentions of opening it, which I've done before. You know, I've got some product that I got in. I'm going to open 2 boxes. I'm going to sell one, or, you know, so it's not strictly just selling everything. So, you know, I feel like I fall into them all. What about you, Ben? I know you've got different things that you like to collect, and you're a seller. You collect rookie cards and your trout. Well, which categories do you fall into?
Yeah, I think kind of like everyone. I wish I had somehow a slightly different answer, but yeah, I kind of do all of it too. Have the guys that I just hold. I mean, like my Kirby pockets and all sorts of stuff that you would have to offer me an incredible amount of money to take them just because I don't care. So there's plenty of stuff that I always keep. And yeah, I do a little bit like the flipping, like the Formula One. Just I have the membership, and Top said, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" I said yes, and then someone else, "Hey, here's a ton of money for it." I said, "Okay, good." And but yeah, no Target runs. I just don't even look at Target, honestly. I just never really go to Target or Walmart. So yeah, I do definitely resell, like open a box, something I don't want, get a nice auto or something I don't need, pay for the box. Awesome, I'll do that all day. Just fuels so I can get the next box. None of it seems to last in my bank account long. Any money goes back into the next box.
So that's a great point. As like a reseller, like, hey, I've got a Kentucky autograph that I know Che's really gonna like. Obviously I would give it to Che, but in another circumstance, it's a $400 card. I can sell that for $400, then go buy another box of something. To me, that's a collector move, because hey, I'm gonna get the card into another collector's hand. Then I could buy something that I want. I'm going to buy myself. I bought the Prism Blasters. Okay. I sold those as soon as they came in. And I bought the Cody Bellinger High Fives PSA 10. It's probably the one time that I ever just, as soon as something came in, I just immediately sold it. But I had in mind, I'm not just pocketing $400. I'm buying this Cody Bellinger High Fives PSA 10 that I've had my eye on for months. So I was able to, finance my purchase by getting lucky on a Target website. So. Evolution Che, what do you think over there with those smart man glasses tonight? Because obviously you're brilliant because you have glasses on.
No, I'm definitely a collector reseller. I can say that I've never, all because the same thing Vito said. I can't keep something unopened. I've never flipped an unopened product. I've got this sitting in front of me. Jen donated this to our JED fundraiser, and it's killing me that this thing has been sitting here on my desk for a month unopened. I can't. That's the longest a product's ever been in my house and not been opened. I've never sold an unopened product, but I'm far and away number one. I'm a collector, but I have absolutely no reservation in reselling anything that I buy that I don't collect. So if I go buy boxes of something and and I'm not going to collect that guy, then I've got no problem reselling it. But like you said, Chris, I'm going to resell it to go buy more stuff that I want to collect. And so I'm glad to have that, because it allowed me to build my collection so much more than I ever would have been able to in the past. Right. When I got back into this hobby, I bought a bunch of cards last year and I sold a bunch of cards last year. But now I've got every Rod Carew except his rookie in a PSA 8 or higher. Nice. That's 30 some cards that's thousands of dollars that I would not have been able to buy had I not resold the Zions, and the Jaws that aren't in my PC. So that's how I do it. I'm a collector and not afraid to resell and unashamedly resell.
Unashamedly resell. That's pretty awesome, because there are a lot of people who just take flack all day long on Twitter when they post their carts or their shelves and stuff. It's like, I really don't care, like, at all. So you want to label me something, I don't care. So
I got 2 boxes of Bowman unopened that I haven't touched yet. I can't believe I haven't opened them yet. They're just sitting in the closet. Like, I'm gonna open them. I have to get organized before I rip them open.
Restraint.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so I know this is a big topic that a lot of people have had some strong opinions on Twitter lately, and Che and I touched on a little earlier, and kind of our whole chat group did. So we're going to leave this one untimed as well, because whatever, we're having a good time. Any guys on time constraints tonight?
Yeah.
No. All right. So we only got 3 more questions left. So we're coming up to a sports law, and typically May, June, and July are like down months for the hobby, but do you see a hobby dip coming up? You know, NHL, NBA seasons are almost over. NFL doesn't start till August, and baseball, 162 games a year. So, what products are even coming out recently or soon that are going to be awesome and amazing and blow you away? Or are we kind of coming to a hobby lull? Ben, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
I can't speak as well on other sports just because as far as like a card standpoint, I'm mostly baseball. But I will say definitely, like if you look at prices, even in the last month, there's been an absolute downward trend. Just there's a few different indices out there that I'll follow, and a lot of main rookie cards are down of all sorts. I mean, even bigger players. But like this week, Jared Kelenic of the former Met now. Mariner prospect got called up, and his cards have shot up, just because someone's hoping he'll hit a home run tonight.
Yeah.
So I definitely see a lull. Maybe it'll pick up again. Series 2 is going to drop, I think, in June. So for me, I'm waiting for the checklist to see if Alex Kirilloff is in there. If so, then I'll buy a bunch of that. But yeah, I definitely see a bit of a lull. There's always the excitement, the preseason, spring training. For a full season of baseball again, everyone spends all their money. Maybe now they're actually going out to eat again, so there might be less sort of disposable income for that. So yeah, there's a little bit of a lull, but it's a long season in baseball, so I think there will be the All-Star break. Things will get exciting again. Pennant race.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up that people are starting to do stuff again. And, when a bunch of these new hobby accounts came up, it was the beginning of COVID. Everyone was home. Every, middle-aged man was getting nostalgia and getting hooked back into this. Now that people have time, people can go out, people can have lives, you can do stuff again. Are we going to see people exiting or just taking time off? I mean, that's remained to be seen. Vito, what do you think? What are your thoughts? We in for a hobby lull coming up?
See, I'll answer your question quick about people going out again. I know by us, we're starting to see more shows now, and there's a lot of interest. So it's interesting. Going out could mean being more involved in the hobby in some ways, right? You could start going to shows on the weekends, which we have not had here in the tri-state area since COVID hit. I think just in general, right? The springtime does people spend more time outdoors. I think school ending. I think no other sports but baseball. There's always that lull, right? Whether it's hobby related or just sports in general related. Plus the products that we're releasing. I mean, I always look forward to Finest, but it never really does anything for me at the end of the day. And then, Series 2 will help, like Ben said, and then Chrome will help as well. I said it earlier. I think it's the NFTs. I think it's the crypto. I think people are putting their money into other things that are, in some cases, flipping is really, really, really lucrative in those areas. You hear about kids who go to bed and then wake up a millionaire the next day, right? Because they put all their piggy bank money into Dogecoin. But no, on a serious note, I think there'll be a lull just because in general there's only baseball. But all the things that Ben spoke about, All-Star Game, mini camps opening, the products that do come out, it'll keep the hobby alive. Plus, I think people will start going to shows, especially if the national happens. That'll be a big shot in the arm for the industry.
Yeah, I wish it would happen. I honestly, I don't think it's going to. Illinois has got one of the strictest COVID regulations. They did say they are going to make their decision by June 1st, though. So, I mean, that's still, the show's end of July. To make that decision June 1st, you're only giving people like a month and a half to make those claims.
2 weeks away.
Yeah. Che, what are your thoughts?
Nothing really that hasn't been said by one of these 3 guys. I mean, I think Vito makes some great points about the crypto. People putting, a lot of their disposable income in Doge. I mean, people are spending $36,000 on a digital horse right now. those Z1s were mid-30. They were $35,000, $36,000 on that drop a couple of days ago. And, and you do have your traditional lull.
A lot of
flapjacks. Yeah. You have your traditional lull coming up. For me, I'm excited. Stadium Club is my favorite launch of the year. It's just because the photographer in me, I have a history with photography and that I'm passionate about photography. Stadium Club is my favorite set. So I'm looking forward to Stadium Club. You got Chrome. So you got a lot of the baseball coming up, but that is a traditional lull. You combine that with what Ben said and what Vito said about people getting back out into society. I went to a restaurant for the first time in 14 months last week, and my 11-year-old ordered lobster. I was like, man, maybe we shouldn't have come. But so
sell more of those.
I mean, yeah, people they're having other things to spend their money on. They're actually able to get back out and do things on a limited scale, but they're not so stuck at home. So absolutely, I think we're already seeing the dip a little bit. We're also seeing people like me Vito never chases retail. I used to be able to grab some every once in a while. I've completely given up. I don't even go anymore because you have the same 7 or 8 guys or 20 or 25 guys that are at that place every time. I don't go. I'll say, oh, it was Friday. She stocked today. I'm not even going to go because it's useless. So I think a lot of moving parts are going to lead to, probably until football season starts, the first football releases come out. Yeah, I think you will see a lull.
Yeah, that's a great point you mentioned because I know Nick, he sees the same guy at like 6 different Targets that he goes to.
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
So, and then I see the Yankees guys hat every place I go to as well. So, we've got 8 a.m. Targets, 3 p.m. Myers. Last week I was lucky enough to go because Becky was working from home. But Nick, what are your thoughts here? You see a lull coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're already seeing a lull in basketball and football for sure. You're seeing the resale prices on retail products have gone down as the market gets more saturated, and as obviously we're how many months now removed from football ending, and how many months until it starts again. I do think baseball does have more interesting products to come out that will keep the baseball collector engaged. But let's be honest, basketball and football in the last year or two have surpassed baseball, and maybe even before then, overall, as far as the money that people see in these products, with the exception of your Trouts, your Acuñas, guys like that. You're not seeing the value people putting on baseball cards like they do on basketball and football cards, which is funny because I always thought football cards were the most least valuable cards there were, and now it's the amount of young talent that's been in the league the last couple of years, and how readily available these cool looking cards are, and with all the autographs and everything, it's definitely shot basketball and football. You're going to see a lull. It's going to, like everybody said here, I can't really say anything else new, but I do think as somebody who's always loved baseball first, I'm going to be engaged with baseball throughout the year. Last year, the Top Stadium Club Chrome was actually one of my favorite products of the year. Stadium Club itself was a little disappointing to me. Stadium Club Chrome, I just thought they were gorgeous cards. I only actually got my hands on like 3 or 4 blaster boxes, and I hit like 3 autos out of 4 of them. It was amazing, including a Vladdy. So you're going to see a lull, but I think it'll be okay. And like Shay said, when football season starts to get a little bit closer, the prices will start coming up again. And especially once the products come out with the guys in their pro unis, not the contenders that are just coming out, and the draft picks and stuff where they're still rocking the college and score even.
Yeah, I mean, Score's coming out tomorrow, $350 a hobby box. Prism Draft Picks is usually already out, and it's not. So maybe we'll have a little influx
Score
there.
$350.
And so, like
you muted
yourself.
Yeah, my bad. So Amy was talking in the chat about Aaron Rodgers. We talked about him last night, but say like Aaron Rodgers makes a move, or there's a big move in the offseason. I mean, that could make a jump. Like last year when Tom Brady went to Tampa, there's an immediate move in different cards, especially Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, knowing that those guys are going to light up the scoreboard. And, Tom Brady, I always think that his cards are never going to go down. I mean, we saw his card just even go higher than they could before, even with another Super Bowl. It's like, hey, let's have one for your third leg. Like, I don't know. It's pretty cool, though. So speaking of NFL, NFL draft was last weekend. What are we laughing at me for?
Just move on.
No. All right. NFL draft was last weekend. Which player drafted in the best situation to be successful as a rookie? And Chad, I know we talked about this yesterday, but I'm going to go with you first. Which player is going to be the most successful as a rookie this year?
Well, I'll give the same answer I gave to you yesterday, and I think kind of out of left field for some, but I truly think this, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. I've read several knowledgeable folks that have the same opinion. It's Jamin Davis of the Redskins, middle linebacker, 6'3", 245 pounds. I mean, built like a Greek god. And this isn't a guy with some squishy pudding belly. This is he is built like a rock. He runs a 4.3 740. And he's going to a place where he can start right away, and they've got a good surrounding cast. So from day one, he will walk into training camp as the starter. Just a freak of nature athletically. Not a lot of experience in college. He only had 1 year as a starter, but just tremendous athleticism. He can cover running backs out of the backfield. He can rush the quarterback. 100 tackles and led the nation in tackles and interceptions from the linebackers position in college. So absolutely, I think he's in a prime position. The Redskins have a position of need right there. He's the first round draft pick. He's going to come in and start right away, and I think he's going to have a tremendous year.
All right, Ben, what are your thoughts? I know you're mainly a baseball guy, but if you watch the draft or NFL, which guy do you think is primed to have an awesome rookie season?
This was oddly kind of one of the drafts I watched the least because I'm a 49er fan, and they made some moves, obviously. So I was excited to be drafting at 3, but I guess I'm excited about Lance because they like him so much, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to start this year unless something goes really wrong, and then that will be a crappy year to be a fan. And also, I don't think if he does start, he'll be good. So. I don't have a great answer. They did get a linebacker out of USC that looks like he might have a chance to start. So I don't even remember his name, but I'll say him.
See, that's great. I mean, Trey Lance was my pick because he's if he starts, he is put into an excellent position with a top 5 defense, an excellent receiving core, and George Kittle, which is arguably the best tight end in the league. He has the most talent of any rookie quarterback that he's going into. So I think whoever the 49ers were going to take at the quarterback position was going to be my answer. So
yeah, he has the talent around him. I just, rookie quarterbacks, it's just difficult. That's why I say that. Yeah, I hope if he starts, he goes 16-0, and this is just for 10 years. This is a decade of dominance.
17-0. There's 17.
That's right. Sorry.
All right, Vito, what's your opinion? Which guys drafted to be most successful in the NFL this year?
Listen, I'd like to say Zach Wilson. I'm not a Jet fan. I just think this kid might be the real deal, right? Like, he came out of nowhere, but I think he's going into a new system, new leadership. I think Wilson really could surprise a lot of people. But to me, honestly, Newsom in Cleveland, I think Cleveland's got a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. And that's scary to say that. But and as someone who is not either a Cleveland fan or a Jet fan, I think Zach Wilson probably could surprise us, but I think Newsom's going into the best situation. Cleveland is primed to win now.
Awesome. I mean, Cleveland, they've been the mistake by the lake for years and finally have some talent around them. And the Steelers are on a downward trend. The Bengals need an offensive line. The Ravens are dependent upon Lamar. Nick, what do you think, man? I know you're a Dolphins fan. You digging their pick, or who are you going with? Who's the rookie who's going to make the most impact this year?
I think the Dolphins had a great draft. I'm very happy with what they did. I'm excited to see what they can do this year. But if you're talking about which rookie do I think is put in the position to have the most success, this might not be the most popular answer, but I think it's Najee Harris. They don't draft that kid in that position if they're not going to make him their workhorse, and it's his job. Ben is on the way out, and I would not be surprised at all to see him have 1,000+ yards rushing, upwards of 10 touchdowns. I think he's gonna. I don't know long term if it's going to sustain and how good the Steelers will be as a team. But if you're talking about his individual success, I think he's put in a great position to have a really good year as a rookie. And then another interesting one is Chase in Cincinnati, hooking back up with JB. He's a deep threat, and I think that could be really exciting if Burrow's good to go and those two can connect again. That could be fun to watch. So, but I think Harris is going to have a really good rookie year.
Yeah, I completely agree with Harris. I mean, he's Derrick Henry 2.0, and the Steelers, they were very successful with Jerome Bettis when they played the pound and ground game. I mean, that was their game plan for years, and it was successful, and they haven't been good since they didn't have a good running back. So,
he's built for that.
Might be the pick, especially when, you got an aging quarterback. You need to play more ball control. You've got excellent defensive line. That's great right there. Picking back off that question, which player from this draft class are you most wanting to collect? Vito, we'll start with you. Are we going to go with the obvious Trevor Lawrence or?
No, see, so I don't really collect football, but if I get my hands on the product, I'll probably flip those top draft picks right away because they're gonna command top dollar, right? So, and then I'll probably hold the ones that will be that midseason surprise where you have that second or third rounder that all of a sudden is a stud, and then you start seeing the prices skyrocket a little bit. But yeah, if I get my hands on product and it's Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, any of the top draft picks, I'm flipping those right away. So I'm not holding any of them, not collecting any of them.
That's a solid answer. Like the honesty there. Nick, what are your thoughts? Who's the quarterback or player, you're going to be collecting this year?
Not a big football collector. I think I mentioned that earlier. But I am a collector, and I even as a kid, I always like to have the best players. The Trevor Lawrence cards. I'm with Vito as far as you flip them at their highest value if it's not your cup of tea. But at the same time, I do like to have one of each of their rookie cards or whatnot just to have in the collection. So I'll definitely be getting some Trevor Lawrence. I'm still waiting on Topps to send me those Trevor Lawrence boxes, which they promised me are coming. But I'll definitely collect the Lawrence, the Wilson, and see what happens and hang on to them. But if I hit anything that it's oh my gosh, this could give me a sweet deal right now, then I have no problem letting them go because football has just never been my thing as far as collector.
I'm probably the only football collector in this chat, right. So maybe I shouldn't have asked this question. Ben, what are your thoughts? Is there any rookies that you're going to look for in the NFL? Are you Seattle guy or?
Did you say Ben?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Sorry.
I might have said
Sorry. I think probably I probably won't open much. I also bought a box of the Trevor Lawrence though from Topps, which Nick I also have not received yet. So you're not the only one there. I think if I do, I don't know how I would get it. Maybe in a break or something, but. Although that'd be probably pretty expensive to get into, would be Trey Lance, just because quarterbacks are really what do it. But if I find one or two of his cheap, grab them. I have from the current team, I have Ayuk and Bosa, Kittle, Debo, Samuel, just some rookie cards that I got cheap, just because they're the team, so I got them. But he would be the one I would target, just because potential future quarterback. So.
All right, Jay, round us out. Last question, last person. Is there a Kentucky guy maybe that got drafted? I really have no idea. Who's your guy you're going after this year if you're to collect football?
You know how I collect. There were 6, but they were all defensive or linemen. So there's not going to be one that's Jamin Davis will have some cards. He's a linebacker, But no, I'm not a big football collector. The only football cards I do collect are the former Kentucky guys. The Benny Snells, the Josh Allens, that type that type of card, but I don't go after them like really heavy. I just like to pick up, a couple of each, of the releases, maybe an autograph or two and a couple of numbered ones. But like Vito said, if I happen to come across some football and I buy it, I'm flipping. I'm perfect. That's a perfect system. Flip the ones that are worth something right now, hold the ones that might be worth something 4 months from now. And when they become worth something, flip them right then too. Because how many of these guys are going to turn out to be Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey? And you look at Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey's values, they're not, so what are the odds that these guys are going to have that type of career and then 3 years from now have that type of value?
Yeah.
So if I'm getting them, I'm flipping them and then keeping the $2 ones that I love. So that's just the way I'm going to do it.
And can I piggyback on that real quick? What's crazy about that is the value in football is the quarterback position. Like McCaffrey and Henry, their cards don't hold a candle to Mahomes and Roberts, and it's just crazy because football is so popular. People pay so much money for it, and it's for like 3 guys, 5 guys. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And, you think about like Jarrett Stidham a couple years ago, his cards went up for like 2 weeks and then they just went right back down. Like I just bought a Drew Lock Prism for $10 this last week. Last week or 2 years ago, you couldn't get into a Broncos break for less than $300 because Lock was the guy. Same with Daniel Jones. You don't know what's going to happen with these guys. So if you can get in, get your money, get out. I mean, Herbert, obviously, to me, looks like the real deal. So does Joe Burrow, but like Tua and Jalen Hurts, you have no idea. Those are kind of some guesses. So I would, if I've got a numbered card, hold on to that. Otherwise, if you just got a base or a parallel or something, you get your money while you can. So that's just my opinion. But we have concluded the show. It's time to name the winner of the show who gets 1 minute to talk about anything that they would like to talk about tonight. And this is like the closest race in Around the Hobby history, but we are going with Ben as the winner tonight. Unbelievable. Ben can talk about beer. He can talk about
he deserves
Twins. He can talk about Alex Kilcroft, anything he wants. I'm going to stutter around for another like 9 seconds just so I can get right on the minute here for you to talk. And 1 minute to tell us about what kind of hair product you use maybe. So, Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Normally these are what I call my COVID locks, and honestly, when the hair got long, I just used. I don't tell her this, but my wife's stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So steal your wife's stuff. Okay, let's talk Twins. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, guys. This is always fun to do. Chatting around. This is really cool. Yes, it's Alex Kirilloff, and he looks like a monster. He started like 0-18. Everyone's like, oh my gosh. And then he hit 4 home runs in 3 games. And then he didn't hit any home runs in the next game, but he hit 2 doubles. And had 11 RBI. I mean, he was just awesome. Batting 5th from day one. Then, of course, he slides into second and hurts his hand. And that is how the Twins season has gone. Pretty much exactly right there. But if anyone's looking for a prospect to collect, he looks awesome. Just a super chill dude. Polished already at 23. I'm very excited for him. I'm very excited for all the PSA 10s I have of him. Go Twins, maybe. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. That was 1 minute.
White Sox right now, Nick, are playing. You probably know this. It's tied 3-3 in the top of the 3rd.
Go Sox.
Well, great. We'll go ahead and thank you guys for coming. Put the little outro music on. If you guys want to stay around for the round table, just kind of chit chat for a while. That's great. If you got to go, put the kids to bed or whatever you got to do. No big deal. So Ben, Vito, Che, and Nick, thank you very much for being here tonight. I had a great time. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this. So that's a pretty long time. So everybody watching now, watching later, thanks for watching. We out. Stick around if you want to check out the just the round table. So thank you guys.
Thanks.
All right. Remember, we are still live.
Jay's gone.
The Twins are playing the White Sox right now.
They are. It's 3-3, and Twins had a threat, but the White Sox got out of it. So it's 3-3 going to the bottom of the third.
Listen, I obviously being a White Sox fan, my college girlfriend in high school, and my girlfriend in college was from Minnesota, so I have a deep hatred for the Twins. But I love Byron Buxton, man. I'm so bummed that the guy can't stay healthy because he's going off. He's going off.
What an absolute monster this year. But yeah, it's the same old story, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, before his injury, like 0.3 WAR ahead of Trout, who's having an MVP season. I mean, on the defense. On the offense, this year, finally, he's really put it together. I mean, it really started at the end of last year before he got hurt, of course.
Sure.
Not his fault. He got hit in the head with a fastball, got a concussion. But August and September last year, he had 10 home runs. He was really going off, had a bunch of weight. Everything was looking great. Stealing bases, hitting bombs, hitting doubles on balls that should be singles. And, then he has a hip injury that's probably out for a month. So
I know. And it's funny. It's funny because I'm in a dynasty baseball league, and we do a rookie draft every year. And his rookie year, I had the number 1 pick, and I took him instead of Jose Abreu.
Oh,
and it's taken all this time. Abreu wins MVP, and then Buxton's like, "Oh, I'm going to win MVP." I'm like, "Finally!" And now he's
I know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, honestly, if you could just guarantee me he'd play 120 games, I'd take it every year. Because he's that, and especially just on the defense, he makes the whole outfield.
Oh man,
so much better.
You see why he was the number 1 prospect in baseball. He's got it.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, skinny, fast outfielders always get hurt. I mean, that's just the nature of it. It's like running backs. Football get hurt, but he's had not only a lot of injuries, but even extra bad luck. Getting hit in the head with a fastball.
Right
on the hand, broke his hamate bone. Fouling a ball off his foot, broke his toe. I mean, it's just nonstop with them, and it's just please, and now the Twins are 8 games under 500 already in May, and I'm super sad every day.
Do they call him Mr. Glass up there?
I mean, Twins fans are so fickle, but they're not very creative, to be honest. So no, you will hear that, but most people just say, "Oh, Buxton's hurt again," blah blah blah. And
real quick, I during the memorabilia, I know I talked for 5 hours about all the autographs I've been able to get, but one that I thought you'd appreciate was that girl I dated in college from Minnesota. She had an original Homer hanky, and
nice.
When I was interning at the sports radio station, Frank Viola had a show there, and I got him to sign it for her. So that's
awesome. Cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Sweet Frankie, that's awesome. And Homer Hankies, I mean, those are classic too. That's an excellent combination. Yeah, I got a Frank Viola rookie card too. So
there you go.
I collect the rookies.
New York guy.
All right, guys, I got to go help with the little kids' dinner, I think.
Ben, good seeing you again.
Yeah, cheers, you guys.
Hey, Ben,
nice talking with you.
Yeah. Ben, I just followed you on Twitter. Follow me back, and
we'll do.
I want to get your information because I've got some Kepler autos and stuff that I can send you because they just collect dust here. So I'll send them to you. Yeah,
awesome.
Man.
Yeah, right on, guys. Yeah. Cheers.
Cool. Have a good night.
Thanks.
I'm actually going to split too, guys.
Hey, Nick, I heard you said you live on the Space Coast. You still live in Florida?
I live in the UCF area.
Oh, okay. Near Orlando.
Yeah. I grew up
down in Disney 2 weeks.
Okay,
I know you said you got to go, but
a minute.
Yeah, I'm a Florida.
I lived in Merritt Island for a year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember your blog, and we kind of chatted about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I grew up in Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, and moved over here for college, and have basically been here since. And then Chris is coming down with his family in September to go to Disney and stuff, and we're going to get to meet up with them, and we're going to bring our kids, and we're even going to work in a adult dinner night, so it'll be a good time, man.
Yeah, we bought a DVC back in 2004, and we've never turned back. We just go every year.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I used to sell those.
Yeah, you probably sold me mine.
I was in the timeshare industry. No, I don't know. I didn't get to handle those ones, I don't think.
But. These guys know I'm a big Florida guy. I spend my winters down there.
A lot of New Yorkers are.
Yep. Andrew Cuomo is the #1 realtor for Florida.
Right on. Well, this is a lot of fun, and before my wife throws a bottle at my head, I'm gonna
do
head
this
out.
But I'm ripping tonight. I'm ripping.
Show us the hits. I want to see the hits tomorrow.
I just wanted to
Vito,
say,
or
like,
tonight.
I saw you go back in there. I'm like, you gonna rip this live tonight, Vito, or
No.
what? You just gonna?
I actually don't even know if I'm going to do it tonight. I just wanted to play around, but we'll see. I got so much stuff to organize first.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining. If you're both
All right, guys.
then maybe I can.
Yeah, I've got an
Here's that.
11-year-old. I got to get in bed too.
This is that 101 white
UFC.
sparkle I pulled today.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty cool, man. They, the membership for that thing was 500, and they send 4 white sparkle packs right off the bat, and I see those going for $300 easy on eBay, and I'm like, well, I'm opening one, and so now with this and then those, I mean, I can easily make it up, and then there's exclusive sets, and I'm just a big UFC fan, so it just made sense for me. I don't know if they're. Do you know, like with Montgomery Club, do they? If you remember, do you get to? If you have the option to renew it before they allow other people to join in?
I don't know.
I think they've done it in the past.
Yeah.
They've done it in the past, but I've never been a Montgomery Club member, but I know there's a lot of complaining last year about maybe that they didn't allow that. I'm not for sure. But
I knew there was a big to do with the signups and people getting canceled and stuff like that. Yeah. This is the first year because that's something I wanted to mention in the live stream was that with Panini just getting the UFC rights, I think that's a big part of why the UFC cards are so hot is because it's a new thing. It's, it's like people say if Panini got licensing for baseball, man, their cards would dominate because they're so gorgeous. But I think that has a lot to do with it. But so I'm looking forward to see what happens with this. But anyways, have a good night, guys. Great talking.
Have a good night, Nick.
All right, man. Peace out. Nice seeing everybody.
I got a jet too. Y'all have a great night.
I was going to go ahead and end it. So thank you guys so much for coming on. Pleasure as always.
Thanks,
guys. Good night.